I was standing in a bookshop one day waiting for a friend. Bruce wrote to me, pulling books off shelves, killing time. For some reason, I pulled your book off the shelf. When I started to read it, the proverbial lightning bolt hit me. I realized that I was reading about myself. Somehow you knew me without ever having met me. It was a revelation, the kind you read about but can't imagine happening to you. Only it happened to me that day. I saw myself, my true self, which I'd kept hidden from almost everybody in your book. When you described ADHD, which I'd never heard of until then, you described me to a T. It was crazy, all the details you knew about me. You described the ways I was different, but you described them in a way I could actually feel proud of. Just giving me that was huge. The more I read, the more I saw myself. Even though I'd never heard of you or your book, I felt like we'd known each other forever. Somehow, you knew me. I wonder if I might know you, dear listener, too. If I do, if you see yourself in the descriptions I offer of ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, then you are one lucky person. Everything could be about to change. Undiagnosed ADHD. About 80% of adults who have ADHD don't know they have it. Living your life without knowing that you have ADHD is a bit like being short-sighted without knowing there is a condition called short-sightedness. Once you learn there's a name for why you can't see clearly, you can visit an optician, take an eye test, and get a pair of glasses. And those glasses will change your life in ways you couldn't have imagined because you hadn't known what was wrong or what was possible. The same is true when it comes to knowing that you have ADHD. Undiagnosed, ADHD can hold a person back in life. Receiving a diagnosis can change everything. Keep in mind, telling someone with ADHD they need to try harder is like telling someone who's short-sighted to squint harder. Struggling to succeed. Let me tell you about Maria. She is a really good example of how diagnosis and treatment for ADHD can transform your life. Maria came to see me because she had taken the New York bar exam 6 times, and she had failed it 6 times. I'm smart. I know I'm smart, but I just can't pass this damn exam, she told me. I had to study 3 times harder than the other students, and I couldn't figure out why. Because in class, it was obvious I was just as smart as they were, probably smarter. As she told me her story, it was like she was a poster child for adult ADHD. In the past, when she'd gone for help, she'd been diagnosed with depression and prescribed an antidepressant. She had been depressed for sure, but only because she was so frustrated at not achieving her goals. The drug would not address her underlying problem, which was ADHD. As I explained this, Maria alternated between crying and getting angry. "Why didn't those doctors see this?" she asked. "Don't blame them," I said. "Rare is the doctor who knows about adult ADHD, especially in women. But now that we know what's really going on, we can get to work taking care of it." With the help of stimulant medication and the accommodation of extra time, Maria passed the bar exam with flying colors on her next try. Fact versus fiction. Fiction. If you have ADHD, that means you'll never amount to much in life. Fact. Almost all of the adults who come to see me underachieved or struggled at school. Many dropped out of school or college. However, they didn't give up. Most started using their natural entrepreneurial talents right away. Aviation pioneers Richard Branson and David Neilman, innovator and entertainer will.i.am, and model and entrepreneur Paris Hilton are just a few examples of people with ADHD who have achieved great things.